FoodForward SA is the largest food distribution organization in South Africa. It recovers surplus food from farmers, manufacturers and retailers to feed vulnerable communities and address food waste. Every day, FoodForward, along with nearly 2,000 partner organizations, provides 700,000 nutritious meals. Managing Director Andy du Plessis urges us to spare thought for the millions going hungry this festive season. He asks those who can to give the gift of nutrition this Christmas. Let's find out more about FoodForward and how we can help. Andy, thank you so much for your time. It's been a tough year for most people. What's the year been like for FoodForward SA?
I'm Morning Kafuma, and thank you very much for having us. Yeah, it has been a difficult year for many. Everyone has been struggling under the pandemic and how it's affected our economy, how it's affected our social lives, and how it's affected restaurants and businesses in general. And as a result, millions of people have lost their jobs this year, and coupled with those that were already unemployed prior to the pandemic, we're looking at around 44% of our working population unemployed when you look at the broad definition of unemployment. And what that means is that roughly 30 million people in South Africa are going without the ability to secure food for themselves and their families on a daily basis. The Bureau for Economic and Policy Research has shown that roughly 29 million people are not able to procure enough food for themselves, and certainly not able to procure nutritious food for themselves, which is why FoodForward SA has escalated and scaled up our services to underserved communities.
Andy, so how exactly does your food banking model work?
It's quite a unique model. We don't use money to procure food because that's expensive and not sustainable. And what we do is we work with farmers, wholesalers and retailers, and we take all this surplus offtake throughout the supply chain. So throughout the supply chain, farmers, for example, when they grow for a retailer wants a specific size tomato or apple or butternut. And if it's larger or smaller than that, the retailer won't take it, so those goods are rejected. But it's good for human consumption. Some have got blemishes on, some are ugly fruit or vegetables. We take all of those from our farmers, and we have a number of farmers that we work with through Agri SA and the Citrus Growers Association. And we take all that produce and we're able to use it to feed people. It's free, as well as in the manufacturing side, something goes wrong in the production or on the labeling side, and they can't put that goods on the shelf, but the inside is still good for human consumption. We get that goods free of charge from our partners, suppliers, as well as retailers at the distribution centers. And what we do is we collect that food on site, we bring it into our warehouses, we check it, sort it, store it, make sure it's all within date, quality, edible, surplus food, and then we redistribute that currently to just around 2,000 registered non-profit organizations across South Africa that reach roughly 750,000 people on a daily basis. And roughly 98% of that food is considered nutritious food.
Which of the hardest hit areas in our country are you able to reach, Andy? And for South Africans who want to share the joy this festive season, how can they help?
So we find that both in urban and rural settings, poverty is at its worst levels, although rural poor people don't have the ability as much as urban people to be able to secure food. So we've started a program called our Mobile Rural Depot Program. So 30 underserved rural communities across the country get food from us every single month, mostly nutritious food. And then in urban settings, our beneficiary organizations get food every single month. We can't feed 1 month and then forget about them. So every single month, we are providing food to organizations that are making a difference in their communities. Only 15% of our organizations are only feeding organizations. Others focus on skills development for youth. They care for women that are abused, children that are undernourished, etc. So more than 85% of our food goes to organizations that are making a developmental impact. And this Christmas, we are inviting all South Africans to participate. It costs us, because the food is free, costs us only 255 Rand to be able to feed one person for a full year. And we're calling on South Africans to join our monthly giving program, our regular giving program, by donating 255 Rand a month. That's all all you need to give to participate and help us and make sure that we make a dent into those 30 million people that need food so that we are able to scale up and reach more people. And a donation of 255 Rand a month will make sure that 12 people get fed a whole year.